Lermai, I'm Lewis Foster, a journalist here at Manx Radio, and welcome to this edition of Newscast Interviews in Full. Today we'll be hearing from representatives of the Mississauga First Nation, who visited the Isle of Man as part of the first official visit to the British Isles since the 19th century. It's part of what's described as a nation-to-nation diplomatic mission to renew relationships and explore cultural, education and business opportunities while re-animating the Silver Covenant chain of friendship, first established with King George III through the Treaty of Niagara in 1764. At one time, Indigenous Nations often sent delegations to these isles, but the practice was stopped in 1867 by Canada's Confederation. I caught up with Giima Chiblow and Giima Stacey Laforme at Tynwald Fair in St. John's.
Yeah, Giima Chiblow, Chief of Mississauga First Nation in Ontario, Canada. Yeah, he's Giima Stacey Laforme, Chief of Mississauga's a new credit, part of our delegation. Yeah, it's been the 1860s, the last time the Mississauga Nation delegation has been to England and met the royal family. Yeah.
And yesterday, I believe you met King Charles, is that right?
Yeah, yesterday we were at Holyrood and we met the king. We got to speak to him for about 15 minutes as a delegation. It was a very significant event for our for this nation tour we've been doing in over here. Yeah. So it was very interesting to meet him. You know, he was very cordial. Not as tall as I thought he was. He looked on TV, but it was a good face to face.
And remind us of the history then of this visit. How significant is it to the Mississauga Nation?
Yeah, the Mississauga Nation is happy to be this. This is probably, like I said, the first significant meeting, and like you said, since the 1860s. We hope to reestablish knowledge of our histories, which hopefully will generate good relations moving forward. Giima Stacey is our resident historian when it comes to relations. Yeah. And
so tell me about how you found the Tynwald ceremony today, because again, it's another part of that culture that's steeped in history as well.
Yeah, I found that very interesting. When I thought it was just ceremonial when you were doing the acts, but it was actually passing of the acts of your parliament, I guess. So, but yeah, I found it very, very interesting. Our community meetings are open to the public. This was really open to the public, or to our members anyways, but this is open to, I guess, to the whole country, whoever wanted to show up, right? So that's nice. That was nice to see.
So tell us about your whole visit on the Isle of Man then. How long are you here for?
Yeah, we came in last night on the ferry. We just... this is actually the first event we came to was here. We're going to be at a dinner reception this evening, and then tomorrow we're meeting the governor and I guess your president, and then we're heading back over to London tomorrow evening. So, but it's been interesting. We're going to check out the fair and check out some of your food and hopefully enjoy the rest of the day.
And I was reading about this re-animating the treaty that over here, the covenant. Sorry, describe that to us. Tell us what that's about.
Yeah, actually Stacey would be the man to talk more about the renewing the covenant.
Well, it's an important part of the relationship that First Nations have with the Crown. I mean, without the Treaty of Niagara, which was an addition to the covenant, Canada becomes a very different place, and the impacts on the UK and the Crown become different as well. So it's important that we show each other the respect today that we had then. You know, everything we did here is about relationships. You know, everything started with a simple relationship and got better and better. You know, historically, things weren't always good, as you're very well aware. But can I stray off topic and just say that while I respected the ceremonial aspect of things, having that ceremonial aspect go on, and it was very formal, while you were actually having the fair, was a fantastic way to do this thing. It's almost like two worlds in one, showing how they coexist, and that is something very impressive. I'm also happy to be here because, you know, they're able to maintain their culture, their language, and that's something we in First Nations in Canada have struggled with. And so I'm very honored to be here to observe that kind of governance.
You mentioned language as well. Of course, you'll know the Manx revival that's been here. You'll have heard the proclamations as well. They're made in Manx as well. What kind of signal does that show to the world as well as nations such as yourselves?
Yeah, back in the early 1900s, when the the settlers first came to Canada, many of our communities lost the language. But it's being revitalized now. So we're learning the languages again. It's going from older generation actually to the younger generation. The younger generation is kind of forcing the middle generation to relearn the languages. So that's what keeps our communities strong and proud, is relearning and learning the language. Ideally, we'd like to have not lost it, but we're taking pride in learning it again.
Culture and language unite a people and bring them together, and that piece of identity helps them stand together and helps things continue on. So it's very important, and I'm glad to see they do that here. I don't know how often they do it like this, but it's very, very impressive. And it's I think we could learn a few things about the way they handled it. Not that we couldn't teach them a few too. Of course.
Yeah. It was a great event. I'm glad we attended here.
Miigwech for having us here, and our people don't have a word for goodbye in our language, so we say Bamapi Makwagman, which means I'll see you again later.
Giima Bob Chiblow and Giima Stacey Laforme there. Well, that's all for this episode of Newscast. I've been Lewis Foster. Guramayad, thanks for listening.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Little Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.